What's going on, guys? Welcome into Vikings Now. I'm your host for today's show, Patrick Siepman. We're going to be discussing some rookie minicamp winners and losers, and I do just want to say this before we dive into the full list of winners and losers. There's really no true winners or true losers from this. We just kind of look at people who, performed well and could be kind of moving their way up on a depth chart or whatever it may be, and then some of the opposite for the losers, some guys who may be moving down or maybe could not be potentially making the team because of other rookies on this roster. So no true winners and losers, but I got 3 winners, 3 losers for you. But we are in a sub battle with our Atlanta Falcons channel here. Falcons today, they are gaining steam and they're getting close to us. They're around 50 subs back. So I'm going to ask you guys, go down there, hit that subscribe button, free way to help us out here. We can kind of improve our lead over Falcons today here at Chat Sports. And plus, hey, it'll be sweet to hit 13,000 subs. All right, let's talk about the first winner from camp. This is the most obvious statement of all time. That's Jordan Addison. Jordan Addison was absolutely balling out at Vikings Rookie Minicamp. The reports came out. He's looking fluid. He's looking smooth every single time he runs his routes. And I will say this, guys, if you guys want to get your Jordan Addison jerseys, you guys can click the links in the comments and the description. If you go to chatsports.com/Vikings jersey, get your Jordan Addison jersey today. They're sweet. He is going to be wearing number 3 with the Vikings. It's just a placeholder number. So go ahead, check it out, chatsports.com/Vikings jersey. Get your Jordan Addison jerseys today. Let's look at this depth chart right now because I do fully expect Jordan Addison to be the wide receiver 2 on this Vikings roster in this upcoming year. Originally I kind of hoped it would be KJ Osborne, but obviously with them drafting Addison, I just don't really think that's where it's going to go. Obviously Justin Jefferson, best receiver in the league. He'll hold it down at wide receiver 1. Then KJ Osborne, I think he's probably one of the better wide receiver 3s in the league. But the reports from camp was that Jordan Addison, man, he just looked fluid. He looked smooth. He looked dominant. There's really no DB that could hang with him. And it makes sense, man. This dude put up a ton of production during his college career, especially that 2021 season where he was with Pittsburgh when he was his quarterback was actually Kenny Pickett. He had 100 receptions, just under 1,600 yards, 15.9 yards per catch, 17 total touchdowns for Jordan Addison. I expect him to have a big year for the Minnesota Vikings. I think the combination with him and Jefferson, they're both such good route runners. They're both very versatile players. I think you can put them in the inside, put them in the slot, put them on the outside. They can run X, Y, whatever it may be. I think they can both kind of hop around no matter what the position is on offense. I think it'll really help Kevin O'Connell kind of deep dive into his bag of tricks and really confuse other defenses around the NFL. But I'll throw this question your way because I'm kind of curious about this, see what you guys have to say. Over under 1,000 yards for Jordan Addison in year 1. I put it at 1,000. I think this was kind of being generous here. I think 1,000 is kind of the way they go. I'm going to go over. I think he's going to have a big-time year in year 1. I think he's got a chance to actually win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but I'll make this a pinned comment on today's video, so if YouTube throws an ad break your way, sit back, let it play, and let me know. Over, under 1,000 yards for Jordan Addison. Number 2, my man, the quarterback out of BYU, Jaren Hall. This guy impressed a lot of people at Vikings minicamp this year. I love Jaren Hall. He's kind of this boom or bust prospect. He took him in the 5th round. Not too much of really expectations for Jaren. But this was actually Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the Minnesota Vikings, had to say about Jaren Hall at rookie minicamp. He said this: I'm a big fan of his. Love the way he came out and commanded a group of guys that are learning a bunch of information for the first time. There were some ups, there were some downs, and that's what we expect. And then ultimately, just trying to give him tangible, real things that when Monday morning rolls around and the vets walk in here and he starts throwing besides Kirk Cousins and Nick Mullins, that he's got some real tangible things that he can work on every single rep. I frankly love this. I love the kind of the mojo, the vibe coming out of there, talking about Jaren Hall, because there's really no expectation for him. He is playing with house money. I don't expect him to even take a single snap. And honestly, I could see him kind of having a redshirt freshman year where maybe he's not making the roster. But to have him kind of a big arm guy, he needs to tighten up some of the mechanics and just the little ins and outs of the NFL. Allow him to sit behind 2 really smart quarterbacks in Kirk Cousins, Nick Mullins. I think Jaren Hall, in terms of boom or bust pick, that a guy, like if we're looking back and a shocker as our best draft pick, I think it could be Jaren Hall out of the 5th round out of BYU, because who knows? What if he ends up being a franchise quarterback? Obviously, we don't know that. So we're going to let that play out and let his NFL career play out. But I love the mojo. I love the vibe coming out of camp. I don't know. I'm just a big fan of Jaren Hall. Number 3, winners from Vikings mini camp. Mekhi Blackmon, man, the CB out of USC. He looked good. He was getting sticky with Jordan Addison on a couple of reps. I love Mekhi Blackmon. You know, originally when the Vikings took him, I was a little down in the dumps about the pick, mainly just because we traded back for him. And I was just kind of saying, like, man, I wish we would have stayed. I think we were at 87 at the time. We traded back to 102, and we got Mekhi Blackmon. I was kind of hoping maybe the Vikes would have taken, you know, maybe a guy like Corey Trice or something, but he ended up falling all the way. But Mekhi Blackmon, he's going to be great on the outside, and I think he's going to fit in really well with this Brian Flores defense. Right now, I don't have him slated in as a starting cornerback, but I think that could change. Right now, Byron Murphy, expect him to be CB1. Lots of expectations and pressure on him. Andrew Booth Jr., CB2, expect him to be rocking that. And obviously, a Caleb Evans, those two right there. I think they're going to be holding it down, CB2 and 3, for a little bit. But I do expect Mekhi Blackmon. He should be getting reps here early and often because he is kind of Brian Flores' guy. You know, they drafted him for a reason. But I ask you guys, do you guys think Mekhi Blackmon will start week 1? It's Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield. He's rolling in the U.S. Bank Stadium week 1. Do you think Mekhi Blackmon will be in that starting lineup? Let me know. Give me an S for start or give me a B for bench. All right, first loser. I know, not really a true loser. This is my man. I absolutely hate putting Jalen Nailor on here, but we sadly have to. Jalen Nailor is probably the first loser of Vikings minicamp, and it's just because of Jordan Addison. You know, this is why I wasn't really too opposed to the Vikings not taking a wide receiver in round 1. I honestly would have been more fine with them going corner in round 1 just because I love guys like KJ Osborne and Jalen Nailor. But Jordan Addison, I mean, he is going to be wide receiver 2, and KJ Osborne is going to be wide receiver 3. There's really no debating that. It's just Jalen Nailor. I thought maybe he would get more reps here in this upcoming year. I do expect him to make the team, but again, he's probably not going to be playing that much. The Vikings obviously brought in Josh Oliver and CJ Ham, more run blocking, tight end, fullback hybrids. I expect them to be in a lot more heavier packages in this upcoming year. So Jalen Nailor, he's my guy. I thought he would maybe get some wide receiver reps heading into the year, but now with the Jordan Addison addition, he's going to be wide receiver 4. The Vikings, I really don't expect them to be running a lot of 4 wide receiver sets in this upcoming year. Number 2, loser for me, all the cornerbacks in the NFC North that are going to have to deal with, like I've been saying, Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson. Jefferson this past season, best wide receiver in football, the best weapon, honestly, in football. It's either him or Kelsey. You can kind of debate the two right there. But, man, Justin Jefferson, and this is the great thing about him, he has gotten better since he put up 1,400 yards in year 1. He has gotten better every single year. It is incredible that a guy that has started off with a 1,400-year season in his rookie year has gotten better every single year. I just think it's fantastic, and I do think they have a chance to be the best duos of receiver in the NFL. You know, I think their combination of route running and versatility with Jefferson and Addison, you can put them in the slot, you can put them in the outside like I was saying at the beginning of the video. I just think their versatility, I think they're going to be extremely explosive, and I just think if you put Jordan Addison on a team's second or third corner with still the double teams that Jefferson and Hockenson are going to get, that's why I'm confident that Jordan Addison, he's got a really strong chance to be Offensive Rookie of the Year just because he's going to put up ridiculous numbers. Third loser from camp, though, Troy Dye. I was never a fan of this draft pick, linebacker out of Oregon. Main reason for this, because if you're looking at the depth chart right now, Ivan Pace Jr. I think Ivan Pace Jr. is going to make this team. I think Troy Reader's going to make this team. Obviously, Hicks and Asamoah are both locks to make this team as well. So I don't really expect the Vikings to bring in 6 linebackers during their final 53, which I think it could leave Troy Dye on the outside looking in here. And that's why I'd let Ivan Pace eat. I love this guy. I mean, just look at the swagger right here in the photo on screen. He tucks the jersey underneath the shoulder pads. He's got the tattoos on the ribs. He's got the sleeve. He's just a fierce, ferocious guy. I'm a huge fan of Ivan Pace. I fully expect him to make this team, but I'll ask you guys, do you guys think Ivan Pace will make the Minnesota Vikings? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. We're talking about one player out of this whole draft class that wasn't even part of the draft class that I'm excited to watch this year. It's Ivan Pace Jr. Anyways, answer the question, will Ivan Pace make the team? Give me a Y for yes or give me an N for no. See you guys next time. Skol Vikes.